What's up, FlowQers? Today we're going to be talking about the FlowQ shared file storage, which is kind of like Google Drive, but for your 3D printer fleet. Using the FlowQ file storage, you can upload print files once, and then they can be sent across your entire fleet to any printers as they are assigned tasks from the central print queue. That means that you don't ever have to worry about syncing files between printers or messing with SD cards like you typically would in a normal print farm. In this video, we're going to go over how to upload print files to FlowQ, how to organize them using our file structure, and then how to start prints and how we use it on a day-to-day basis. So let's get right into it. Now, before we get into anything too deep, I just want to remind everybody that if you guys ever have trouble with anything in FlowQ, hop up here to our resources tab, and you can see some useful links like our setup videos, customer support, some guides, and even our new keyboard shortcuts. So let's exit out of that, and then let's cover this file system. So to get to the file system, you go over here to the files icon and click on that, and you'll end up on a page that looks kind of like this. And the first thing we'll do is go ahead and upload some files. So we'll click this upload button right here, or we can just hit U on our keyboard. And then we will click here and grab a couple files. Now you can grab as many as you want. I'm going to grab these two for now, and we'll click open. So here you can see where we're going to process these print files to upload them to FlowQ. We can edit the name if we want to, and then add a couple more details. Some of this stuff will go ahead and get automatically set from the slice, but we will have to set the printer model. So this one will be a P2S and this one will be a P1S. And then we can see that the filaments automatically got matched from the slice. FlowQ will automatically assign the filament profile that is the same material and the closest color to what your slice data says. So for ours, they automatically got set to white PLA. This one actually is black PLA. I said it wrong, so we'll go ahead and adjust that really quick. Perfect. And then this one does not have automatic ejection G-code, but this one does. So we'll go ahead and select that. So now if we print this file and then the part gets ejected automatically, FlowQ knows that it can send the next task automatically without having to wait on somebody to go in and manually clear the part. So I actually don't need either of these files, so we'll click cancel, and we'll go to the file that I actually want to upload today. So we'll hop over here to Bamboo Studio. You can also use Orca or Prusa Slicer. The file exports from all of those are compatible with FlowQ as well. So if we take a look at this project, this is actually a tilt kit for my Prusa Mark IV, and it has 3 plates and 4 different colors. But that's not a problem. We'll just go ahead and export all sliced file and save that to our downloads. And then we'll hop back over to FlowQ and upload this project. So we'll go ahead and click upload, go grab our file. And you can see FlowQ automatically breaks up our multi-plate file into 3 separate print files. This is super nice because it means that we get a little bit more control over exactly which plate we print when, and we can also print a multi-plate file across a fleet of printers rather than having to do the entire project on one printer at a time. So you can see FlowQ renamed the files based on the plate numbers, but I'm actually going to go change these to give us a little bit more detail. So we'll call this one back block. This one will be front block. And then we'll call this one screen mount. All right. And it looks like FlowQ already pulled in the nozzle diameter. We'll go ahead and select our printer. And then we can see here that it looks like FlowQ automatically selected all of the correct filaments, so that's good to go. So then let's go ahead and just click complete upload. Great. And then down here we can see all of our new files. So if we want to go ahead and throw these new files into their own folder, what we'll do is go ahead and click create folder up here, or I can also just hit N on my keyboard, and then we'll call this Prusa MK4 tilt kit. Great. Create a new folder. All right, and then to move these into our new folder, we'll just select all the files we want to move, and then I can either go up here and click move, or I can just hit M on my keyboard. And then we will find our file, double click into this, and then hit move. Great. Looks like that's right in there. And then if we ever want to duplicate a file, I can go ahead and hit duplicate. And there we go, we just made a copy. You can edit that one, change the name, Maybe we'll change it to 2, and maybe we'll change the color to blue. Great. And if we go back into our folder, we can see that we have the copied file. And if we want to delete it, go ahead and select it and just hit the trash icon. Alright, so that pretty much covers how to upload and organize files in FlowQ. But how do we actually use this on a day-to-day basis? So if we want to print certain parts, it's very easy. You just hop into your file, select the parts that you want to print, and then we'll hit add to queue up here, or Q on our keyboard. And then we can set the repetitions that we need, and a couple other settings in here. You can see here we can also override the filament profile. So if, for example, I wanted these in black, I could go and grab myself a black filament. Let's actually use my Polylite filament. I'll use my Polylite PLA Pro for these. And then we can go ahead and add those to our production print queue. So now if we scroll to the bottom, we can see there are our files. So I actually need these as soon as possible, so let's go ahead and send these to the top. We'll get the other one too. And I'll have this one print first, so I'm going to drag that above it. There we go. Now as soon as I have a Bamboo PONS with a compatible nozzle diameter and filament type and everything like that, this file will automatically get sent to it and start on the machine. Now if we go back to our file storage, I also need a A1 mini swap kit. So let's go take a look at that. So we can see we have a lot of parts in here, and rather than selecting these all individually, I'll just go back and I'll just select the entire folder and click Q. Now you can see we can easily add all of the parts from this folder to the queue. Now I only need one A1 mini swap kit, so we'll leave all the repetitions as one, and then I actually have a few of these on hand, so we'll get this out of here. Great, and it looks like all of these parts are good, so we'll go ahead and just add those to the queue. Now if we scroll to the bottom, we can see all of our parts are down here as well. If we come back to our files page, I can show you a couple more tricks just to make your life a little bit better. First is that if you want a condensed view, you can hop over here and toggle off the images. And now you can see a little bit more per page. Second is that as you go into nested folders, you can always follow your breadcrumbs right up here to go back to wherever you were before. Well, that pretty much covers how to use the shared file system in FlowQ. If you guys have any questions, definitely go drop them down in the comments below, and I'll make sure to add links to FlowQ as well as all the resources that you need to set it up down in the description. Thanks for watching.